Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper One, and welcome to Boots on the Ground. Thank you for the great response on the medical gear, medical supplies. Everything is sold out except the only thing that's not sold out is the orthodontist tools to take off braces. And a lot of people won't need those, but they're pretty cool. That's the only thing left, and we're sorry we blew that stuff out at lower prices than we probably should have, but it was a thank you for you guys and gals that support the channel. So let's get right into it. If you have anything you could offer the community, send it to southernprepper1@yahoo.com. southernprepper1@yahoo.com. There was a cyber attack that hit a Canadian utility company. It's called QEC. I think they're located in Nunavut, and I know I mispronounced that Canadian name wrong, but the Royal Canadian Mounted Police are investigating. The attack did not take out the power or the power operations. It went after the business systems, the area where the customers pay their bills. So just increasing attacks on all types of infrastructure in the whole United States. This person said, I had a very disturbing shopping trip today. I went to Aldi's to grab a couple of things, could not believe the prices. Eggs, $4.56, still cheaper than some of the other stores. A 1 ounce dried bag of dried fruit, $3.59. Cheese sandwich, $3.49, and go on and on. Just things are just getting higher and higher. She said, I also noticed people are distressed in the store. They seemed overwhelmed and have to make many tough choices on what to buy or what not to buy. My plan is just to continue prepping, but using the sales to stock up on. There was a Connecticut law introduced into the Connecticut State Assembly, which would let women skip the candidate physical ability test for firefighters. Basically, they won't have to test. This is a grueling test that you have to wear a 50-pound vest, and you have to do tasks that normal firemen or firewomen would have to do. And they don't want this to be a part of the hiring process because they're saying that women cannot pass the test. To be honest with you, I want the best candidate possible. If I'm stuck in a house that need to be carried out, I would want the firefighter to be able to drag me at least out of the burning house. The Fed chair, Powell, he's done some aggressive interest rates hikes, and which has then spiked mortgage rates, which then has caused people that have had contracts to buy homes to cancel it. This, in the last quarter, it spiked up to 68%. The quarter before was 35%. The quarter before was 13%. So it's just getting worse and worse. They say that for the content of this, 68% cancellation rate surpasses even the darkest days of the 2008 housing crash. The average back then was just about 47%. So definitely the housing market is suffering, and it's only going to get worse. It is showing a result of this, of higher mortgage rates, a massive pileup of new home inventory. So if you're a buyer and you got the cash, it's your time to buy. If you're a seller, you're going to have to make more concessions to get it sold. Their safety announcement. There's protests are being called against police officers and law enforcement agencies because of the shooting that happened down in Georgia. So they're calling it for a night of rage, and I think it's going to be on Friday night tonight. So be careful if you're out there. Keep your eyes and ears open. We just received our second recall safety notice for a 2020 Ford Escape we bought February 2021. The first notice is for an oil pump, and the only risk was the risk to the engine being damaged. The next notice is for a possible crack in fuel injectors, and this could result in an engine fire. Problem is the part needed to fix this will not be available till the end of March. So without have no way to do it, I'm going to have to drive my vehicle. They say I will continue to drive and play napalm roulette. Hopefully you will be safe. This person's a Walmart pharmacy tech in Ohio, and they have a lot of experience. I don't want to tell you how many years, but many, many, many years of experience doing this job. Their current hours are from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. Saturday, they're open, I guess, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And they're also open on Sunday. But the new hours that will be starting March 10th, and I think this is for all, this is how they made it sound, for all pharmacies in Walmart, they're going to cut it back to 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. So there's a few hours missing. We are told that this will be starting March 10th. and they're going to cut the hours, and some will be very good because a lot of the pharmacists are working all those hours and they're just worn down. So is this a cost cutting for Walmart so they don't have to pay all those workers, keep that pharmacy open? I don't know. We'll find out. I live in upstate New York and deal a lot with the Border Patrol here. A number of illegals are crossing, is growing more and more from Canada into the U.S. The issue is Canada does not require a visa to fly from Mexico. So it's actually safer for Mexicans to fly into Montreal or Ontario than legally cross into the U.S. rather than deal with the crime at the southern border. It's a worsening problem with little media coverage. I don't know how they cross over there legally, but they illegally cross over the border, but it's safer. They don't have the problems with the cartels. Greetings from Southeast Michigan. There was a time when expiration dates on food was an issue. It seems to have improved for a while, but I believe it's becoming a problem again. I've noticed that some of the things I'm buying to replenish my preps have dates that are older than or the same date as the same item purchased months ago. Not so much in the canned goods, but things like mayo, ketchup, and barbecue sauce. Just a reminder to keep checking those expiration dates. This is from Mississippi. This is a Walmart. At this particular one, they had no lettuce, and their 18 large eggs were $7.30. This is Washington Southern. We went to a fast food burger place and got 2 kids' meal, 2 adult burger meals without drinks. Our total was $66. They automatically tipped themselves $10 without asking us. And it was fast food. We didn't have any service to speak of, so I don't understand the tip. We decided this was the last time this year. Our family's New Year's resolution now is no eating out. Good morning. The plant in Gaffney was in production for over 50 years and now will be closing. And I talked about this earlier. It was the #1 employer with the highest wages in Cherokee County, South Carolina. They went from 1,100 employees at their heyday. Now they're down to 225. The production has moved to Mexico, in their opinion, to maximize profits. So they're consolidating going on in all the rest of the U.S. plants. This Gaffney plant makes the smaller bearings for the automotive industry. Just a heads up for anyone in the San Diego area, eggs are $8 per dozen. Because of this, people are going across the border and buying Mexican eggs, and they're being sold for $3 per dozen at farmers markets. The problem comes when Americans cross the border get caught because it is illegal to bring fresh eggs across the border. You can face a $10,000 fine. So pay attention. If you're doing this and you didn't know you were doing something wrong, you might want to stop because a $10,000 fine for a dozen eggs is pretty costly. I'd like to let the viewers know that car parts are getting astronomically expensive. Thus, why my car insurance jumped $450 per year. I purchased an older 2004 one-owner, low-mileage used car this past year. One item in particular had me literally shaking my head is my local O'Reilly's windshield wipers. In their words, dear Lord, $30 to $45 for one wiper. I commute 60 miles a day to work. So I always invest in routine maintenance on my vehicle. And they're saying I had to buy 2 wipers, a gallon of windshield wiper fluid, and it was over $80. Just to do my oil change is very costly. So be very diligent on your vehicle maintenance. If you see something's wrong, yes, it might cost you a lot to fix it now, but if you fail to fix it now, it's probably going to cost you 10 times as much when you have to put it in the shop. They also said no children's medicine anywhere. So in their area, child's medication, and that'd probably be the over-the-counter stuff. This is Harris Teeter in Fort Mill, South Carolina. They just had raised their Harris Teeter orange juice concentrate. And it might not sound like a lot, but it went from $1.69 a can to $2.50. No big deal. But it is. It's 48% inflation on that orange juice. 48%. As a registered nurse, I work in telehealth for a well-known nationwide company. This allows me to talk with people all over the country who are looking for advice on what to do about their current medical issues. And sometimes they mention a need they have. For example, food assistance, medical assistance, or etc. Here's a resource that I share with my patients when they're asking for help. It helps people locate free or reduced cost resources in their area based on their zip code for financial assistance, food pantries, medical care, and much more. It is www.findhelp.org. I have not checked them out to see how legit they are, but it sounds like a good place to start. www.findhelp.org. I am a home health aide in New Jersey. I've been noticing a disturbing trend. Clients and their families have been cutting back on services. Historically, there has always been a shortage of aides. The government implemented a jab mandate that didn't help the situation, but now there has been an uptick of clients or family members responsible for their finances cutting back or even canceling services altogether. This is very scary. These are medically compromised individuals who are disabled and cannot bathe, cook, or use toilets themselves, including veterans. Sad state of affairs when people enter the country illegally, getting everything they need and more. Yes, it is. I don't have the answers for it. Just want you to let you know, when you advise people to use Vicks Vapor Rub, it can interact with other medication. Years ago, I knew a lady who died because she did not realize that. I tried to find out what it reacts with. I couldn't. But anytime you use any kind of medication, always consult your doctor or a medical professional. Have been unable to find in our area, and this is in the southeast Idaho, I guess over-the-counter medication or children's medicine, but we did find a small compounding pharmacy that will make it for parents who go in and ask for it. So if you can't find it, see if you can find a compounding pharmacist and see if they can do it. And they don't need a prescription because what they're mixing you up is the over-the-counter equivalent. So if you need some over-the-counter children's medicine, look at a compounding pharmacist. Weird brakes were making a weird sound and the car was wobbly while braking. Took it to a local big name shop and they tried to sell us a complete brake kit to fix it. What they didn't know is that we knew our brake kit was still essentially brand new and just needed the rear caliper replaced, as somehow it got damaged. I caught them red-handed trying to scam us of $1,500 for a bogus repair. They wouldn't even show why a single part was bad, only that the whole thing was bad and needed to be replaced. Total scam. So everyone should know when they get their car needing any repair to get maybe a second opinion if you think it's too high. They did take it to another place and they got it fixed. This person also wrote a book. I have not read his book or her book. It's called The Bunker Codes, A Beginner's Guides to Bunkers. I'm going to put the link in there so you can check it out. I haven't read it, but it looks like a pretty good prepping book. You be the judge of that and go check out the link. This person said, Walmart now are selling eggs, 6 eggs for $3.99, and they sent me a picture. I wouldn't have believed it, but $3.99 for 6 eggs. I recently took a job working for a company who handles the Bank of America accounts for prepaid cards. I know people have been talking about money missing from their bank account, but it is happening on the prepaid side as well. Money missing and no answers. They recently settled a class action suit because of an unpaid claim cardholders had put forth for fraudulent activity. Anyone keeping great deals of money in their account is asking for heartbreak. If it is happening at Bank of America, it is happening everywhere. Bank local, where the teller knows you and you know them, and you all go to church together. This is Northwest Georgia. Eggs, $1, or for 1 dozen, $5.62. The sister-in-law paid $11 for eggs in Dunlap, Tennessee. Tractor Supply layer pellets, chicken feed, $20 for a 50-pound bag in Northwest Georgia. It's up $5.50 from last summer. Live chicks, $8, starting at $8, and last year they were $3. Dog food and cat food, the dry stuff, empty shelves. I'm seeing empty shelves in my area of cat food. Also, the crime rate has gone crazy in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Crime rate's going crazy everywhere. I just finished my FEMA funeral assistance for my husband who passed away January 22 from COVID. We were married 43 years. We both have worked very hard for everything that we have. Sometimes it's disheartening to see so many people get free stuff and then not even willing to work. We know of young ladies who just keep having babies, having children, so they can get more money from the government. It's going to have to stop somewhere. I listen to you every day, and it's just wonderful for you to take your time and effort to help us prepare for what is coming. And they're saying, it is just me and my pet, so I hope we have enough food to feed both of us. Your rant today, and that was a few days ago, just hit the spot with me. And if my husband were living, he would have loved it too. And we would have discussed your topics many times. I'm a retired, but I'm still working. Probably working to make ends meet. Sorry to say that at the end. I hope that's not true. A lot of elderly people that I've known said they are not retiring. And a few people that have sent me things said they've had to go back and work just because of inflation. My granddaughter got laid off last night from Storeflex. I don't know what that is. They had a big round last Friday, another Monday, and they say more is coming. Now I've heard from a retired researcher from Corning Incorporated about 3 weeks ago. I do not know if this rumor was true, that the company offers to keep everyone on if they agree to take half their pay in company stocks. My neighbor, a chemist, then got laid off. Not a booming economy here. Please tell everyone not to overlook their surplus or discount grocery stores. Yes, they have some dented cans, but I have yet to see one leak. I've picked up pork and beans, 50 cents a can, not dented. Spaghetti sauce, large cans $1. A case of 12-pack Pepsi, $1.99. These items might be close to the expiration date, but items in cans last for years. I stay away from baked goods, though. Hope this helps. A lady sent this in to me. I love it. It's a quote. Raise your children right and you can spoil your grandchildren. Spoil your children and you can raise your grandchildren. I'll read that again because it's awesome. Raise your children right and you can spoil your grandchildren. Spoil your children and you can raise your grandchildren. I'm number 7 of 8 kids. My parents were born in 1926, so they knew what it was like to stretch their food supply. When I was growing up, my mom would buy a gallon of whole milk and create 2 gallons of milk by mixing it with powdered milk. A half gallon of whole milk mixed with a half gallon of powder milk. I hope this tip helps families stretch their food budgets just a little bit. This one is coming from a small town in Kentucky. We're seeing a lot of the same issues with price increases, merchandise shortages, produce quality, business hours changing. The biggest issue for our community has been the closure of 4 businesses within the community within the last 3 weeks, and 4 of them which was closed by the end of the month. 3 of these businesses were restaurants. The 4th was a small boutique. People are very much on edge. At one of the businesses that had closed, there were several serious arguments between customers and employees just prior to the decision to close. This is not normal behavior for our town. It's scary. Everyone's on edge. I'm getting emails. People are definitely on edge. No eggs at the local Costco, Vancouver, Washington. Not only that they don't have eggs, the spot where they used to be is really pushed smaller. He's also saying the regular sugar, that spot was pushed very small, so they're having problems getting sugar in. This person says, I live alone. I have a 10-pound jar of peppers and vinegar fall and hit me in the head. After applying pressure to stop the bleeding for 5 hours without success, I decided I probably needed stitches or staples. But I cannot see where the wound was coming from because it was located in my hair. I ended up going to the emergency room, and I was there about an hour. They couldn't find the wound either, so I guided them to the location of the pain. They said it was just a small half-inch superficial laceration and sent me on my way. After washing my hair and inspecting the wound myself, it turned out to be approximately a 2.5-inch gash. The medical treatment might be getting faster in places, but the quality of the care is still subpar. And really, it could be an honest mistake, but you are responsible for your medical care. So if you think something's wrong, say something. Our medical people do a great job when they can, but it's up to you to make sure you take care of yourself. Thanks for watching.